Hi darlings, Allison K here. Do you know which kind of content makes your ideal audience visit your website more often? I don't just mean social media, but everything from Google My Business to print ads. I see you there working hard to get your marketing out on the interwebs. You're slicing and dicing your message in a variety of ways for your audience, which is totally rad. But how do you know if your audience is more likely to click the link to your website if they see a video post or if they read a textual one? Darlins, where there's a will, there's a way. You can totally do this by adding some extra code to your links. Check it out. https://website.com/UTM_source equals Google ampersand UTM_medium equals organic and ampersand UTM_campaign equals GMP_listing? Okay, you might think that's gibberish, but stick with me here. I'm about to blow your digital marketing mind. That lanky link has something added at the end known as a urgent tracking module code. But darlings, no one calls it that. UTM parameter, UTM code, or just UTM is totally fine. It's kind of like sticking an airtag onto your link as it wanders around the internet. As it gets clicked, it reports exactly where that click came from. Let me show you an example that I use in my own marketing. Okay, so at time of filming, Twitter is totally on fire right now, so don't judge me for talking about it for this example. Apply this principle to any social media platform that allows you to use links. Anyway, Twitter is a great source of traffic for my blog, so I try to mix things up with different kinds of content. All three of these tweets go to the exact same blog post. I've been rotating these three for over a year now. Yes, you can totally keep repeating your social media posts over and over and over. Work smarter, not harder, darlings. So how can I tell which tweet sent the most traffic to that particular blog post? Because obviously I want to know what's resonating most with people. For science. That's not a problem, Allison, you might say to me. Just go check out Google Analytics. But at time of recording, Google Analytics 4 still doesn't have an easy way to see the breakdown of each social media platform. Ugh. Even once it can, you can't tell which post the traffic came from. But with UTM parameters, you can totally figure it out. So let's do it up. UTMs require at least 3 parts: source, medium, and campaign name. Source means specifically where the post lives online. While you could type in anything, it's ideal to use a proper entity, which could be anything from a social media platform, a particular search engine, or your newsletter. So all 3 of these posts get the same source of Twitter. Next, we add in medium, which is what type of source the link is coming from. The best way to think about medium is through Google Analytics' own channel groups. That could be social, organic, direct, etc. So for this example, all of these posts' medium is social. Last is the campaign name. This is whatever you want, as long as you can remember what that post was. Any naming convention will work, but I recommend lowercase with underscores between your words. I keep it simple with these posts by giving them the campaign name tweet_1, tweet_2, and tweet_3. Now as people click them, I can see the exact data per post in the acquisitions overview inside of Google Analytics. Now, I know you might be like, holy shit, Allison, that was a lot to stick into a link. Dudes, I didn't do this by hand. I use Google's campaign URL builder to create those UTMs lickety-split. Simply paste in your URL, then type in your source, medium, and campaign name, and it will generate the link for you. And then it really is rinse and repeat after that. The hardest part is remembering what campaign name it belongs to which piece of content. That's why having a simple spreadsheet for these is always the best way to keep things straight. With this trick, you can apply UTMs to all sorts of targeted tracking. You can use this for your Google My Business links, because Google Analytics doesn't actually split it out separately from the organic traffic. You can update your links in your lead magnets and other PDFs that can track the traffic that came from those downloads. You can even add these puppies to print ads. Yes, finally a way to track physical marketing digitally. Woo! Now, darlings, I know what you're gonna say, Allison, that is way too long to put in a print ad and no one is gonna type that into their phone. True. In that case, you can use a link shortener like bit.ly to turn that long-ass UTM into something nice, short, and sweet. Isn't that link just adorable? So now you can track your ideal audience's clickable moves all across the internet. Side note, I have a killer video on ways to find out where your ideal audience hangs out online. In fact, your bit.ly account can be connected directly to Google's campaign URL builder. And if Google Analytics isn't your jam, no problem. You can use bit.ly's own reporting to keep track of those UTMs. Have a WordPress site? You have yet another cool option. You can create bespoke links within your own WordPress website. All you need is a free plugin called Pretty Links. It allows you to create new URLs for existing pages and posts, and will track how many times it was clicked. Then you can track the results within Pretty Links' own interface, but you won't be able to see it in Google Analytics. I like to use Pretty Links when I'm doing public speaking. When I give talks, I show a URL where the audience can go and download the slides and other goodies. I give the same talk to all sorts of different events, but I send everybody to the same page. But I use pretty links to create a URL that's more on brand for the event or group. Organizers love it. They eat it up. Then when I'm done giving the talk, I can look at the pretty links report to compare how many attendees actually went and looked at the page. And then I can use that data to compare how many people went to the page and then opted into my newsletter. Friggin' slick, huh? Whatever you choose to use, UTMs, Bitly, or even pretty links, all I'm saying here, darlings, is you want to make sure that you're tracking your clicks so that you can take a lot of guesswork out of your marketing. With this information, everything from copywriting to print budgets become a lot easier and more attractive to your audience. I recommend reviewing this data monthly so that you're on top of what they're eating up and what they might be ignoring. For more in-depth detail on all of this, I put together a blog post for you. Just check the notes. So tell me, what do you use to track your marketing initiatives and campaigns? I love hearing about new ways how people are tracking their awesome work. Until next time, darlings, see ya!